This just happened, and it's becoming the #1 topic among fans. The Eagles are about to sign a player nobody expected. It's the kind of signing that could change everything next season. I've got some hot, exclusive information that hasn't yet been revealed by the major outlets. But before I reveal everything, if you truly love the Eagles, like this now and subscribe to the channel because what I'm about to tell you is going to be hot. It sounds like a wild fantasy, the kind of scenario fans dream up for fun on message boards and off-season nights. But now, it's knocking on the door of reality, and it's shaking up every corner of the NFC East. Four-time Pro Bowler Micah Parsons, one of the most dominant defensive forces in football, has officially requested a trade from the Dallas Cowboys. And while teams across the league are certainly paying attention, one suitor in particular is generating more buzz than the rest: the reigning Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. For Eagles fans, this is already a perfect storm. Watching the Cowboys disintegrate internally, plagued by failed trades and clashing egos, is crushing enough. But the idea of Parsons, a Pennsylvania native and former Penn State legend, switching sides and donning the midnight green uniform? This isn't just a power play. It's football chaos at its most poetic. The speculation hasn't come out of nowhere either. According to ESPN's Bill Barnwell, the asking price for Parsons starts at 2 first-round picks and likely goes well beyond that. The most high-profile deal in recent memory was the 2018 trade that sent Khalil Mack from the Raiders to the Bears, and even that blockbuster may seem insignificant in comparison. At the time, Mack was a former Defensive Player of the Year, but Parsons, at just 25, is younger, faster, and statistically more dominant, with 52.5 sacks and 112 quarterback hits in just 4 seasons. That alone would make it a historic trade, but add to that the rivalry between Dallas and Philly, two franchises that detest each other, and you have the makings of a true NFL soap opera. Trading your franchise's best defender for your most hated enemy, right after he's won the Lombardi, it's the kind of nightmare that would haunt Jerry Jones forever. But here's the thing, the Eagles are in a unique position to make this happen. They have all their future first-round picks. They have $30.1 million in salary cap space, and they have the most aggressive general manager in football. If anyone can make this deal work, it's Howie Roseman. Still, it's not just about assets, it's about vision and risk. Parsons will likely blow through the budget with his next contract. The current record for a defensive player? TJ Watt, at $41 million per year. Parsons almost certainly demanded more. For Philadelphia, that kind of investment could restrict future moves, especially with young stars like Jalen Carter approaching his own salary. Would Roseman restructure existing contracts? Move money? Find loopholes in the salary cap? He's done it before. But even his salary cap skills could be tested if the Eagles go all in on Parsons. There's no doubt the payoff would be immense. Adding Parsons to a defense already consisting of Carter, Jordan Davis, Josh Sweat, and Hassan Reddick would create the most daunting front court in football. And with Vic Fangio at the helm, Philadelphia could build a dynamic defense for years to come. It's bold, it's expensive, it's risky. But if a window of opportunity is now, and all signs point to it, then this is exactly the kind of gamble the champions are making. And while fans keep their eyes on Parsons, another piece of news is quietly gaining traction. The Eagles may be poised to solve their biggest defensive question, reuniting a former Fangio favorite with a championship-ready roster. Let's not take the pill. If there's one area on the Eagles' championship roster that still feels like a question mark, it's the safety position. And now, with training camp in full swing and the countdown to Week 1 becoming a reality, that uncertainty is starting to flash like a warning light on the dashboard. The front office knows it, the coaches know it, and the fans, of course, know it. After the C.J. Gardner-Johnson trade, the Eagles made a calculated gamble. They banked on youth, potential, and internal development, hoping players like rookie Andrew Mukuba and rookie Sidney Brown could shine. But injuries and inexperience are already testing that plan. Mukuba, seen as a potential breakout player, missed time with a shoulder injury. Brown shone in practice and earned praise from defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, but no one can say for sure that the position is secure. Enter Justin Simmons, a 4-time All-Pro, a veteran ball handler, and a player who knows Vic Fangio's system better than anyone on the market. NFL.com's Kevin Patra has been warning for weeks. If the Eagles want to fill that final hole on defense, Simmons is the perfect fit. The connection is obvious. Fangio and Simmons built something special in Denver, and the 31-year-old safety's skill set still aligns perfectly with the coverage-heavy scheme in place in Philadelphia. He may not be as explosive as he was in his prime, but Simmons is still smart, reliable, and capable of covering from sideline to sideline, especially when paired with a dominant defensive line that takes pressure off the secondary. So why hasn't it happened yet? That's the million-dollar question. Simmons was released by the Broncos earlier this offseason, had a brief stint in Atlanta, and is now a free agent without a home. It's not about talent. He's still starting material on most NFL rosters. It could be a matter of time, or perhaps the Eagles are thinking long-term, waiting to evaluate their young safeties in the early stages of training camp before committing to a veteran. But if this truly is the season of the moment, and all signs point to it, then the smart move might be to act before another half hits the field. Simmons wouldn't just bring depth, he'd bring stability, leadership, and playoff experience to a unit that could use all three. He's been at war in big games. He understands Fangio's language. And more importantly, he may now be seeking something far more meaningful than a salary, a ring. Financially, the move is plausible. The Eagles still have cap room, and Simmons may be willing to accept a team-friendly deal to rejoin Fangio in a familiar system. His value isn't just in the scoreboard, it's in his ability to diagnose plays before they unfold, position teammates correctly, and transform chaos into order. At this stage of the preseason, Philadelphia can't afford to create doubts about real football, especially in a division as tight as the NFC East. Bringing in Simmons could be the kind of mid-off-season signing that made the difference in January, the kind of veteran addition that turns a good defense into a great one. But time is ticking. Injuries are already reshuffling the rosters. Fangio knows what Simmons brings. Roseman has never been afraid to attack. So don't be surprised if this potential reunion quietly becomes a reality in the coming weeks. And while the defense grabs the headlines, something equally fascinating is happening on the other side of the ball, where a tall, hungry receiver no one expected is forcing his way into Jalen Hurts' inner circle. If you'd asked fans a month ago who the Eagles' third-string wide receiver would be, behind A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, most would have said Jahan Dotson without hesitation. He has experience, decent potential, and familiarity with the offense. But now, there's a new name emerging in South Philadelphia, Elijah Cooks. At 6'4", Cooks has been turning heads in training camp and had another jaw-dropping performance in Week 2. According to Bleeding Green Nation's Brandon Lee Gouton, Cooks made an acrobatic catch with his foot on the sideline, managed consistent separation, and even shook off a nasty fall to continue making plays. In short, he's getting reps, fast. Cook's rise has come at just the right time. Dotson's fifth-year option was declined. He barely reached 200 yards last season, and despite playing every game, he only managed to reach the end zone in the playoffs. This isn't WR3 production, it's a warning sign. Meanwhile, Cooks has emerged from nowhere. After a quiet debut in 2023, with just 38 yards in 2 games, he was signed from the Jaguars practice squad to the Eagles in January. Injuries to players like Terrace Marshall Jr. and Danny Gray opened a window of opportunity, and Cooks seized it. Is he polished enough to outperform Dotson? Maybe not yet, but for now, he's the team's WR4, and he's making a difference. His size, athleticism, and eagerness to prove himself make him one of the most exciting training camp stories of the summer. The real test? Preseason games. If Cooks can unlock the momentum, contribute in special moments, and keep making catches, the pressure on Dotson will only increase. And in a season with Super Bowl expectations, there's no room for leadership at the expense of performance. As the Eagles' preparations progress, the stakes rise by the day. A superstar trade, a defensive center waiting in the wings, and an underdog WR chasing a dream. What will Roseman's first move be? And how far is Philly willing to go to stay on top of the NFL? With Micah Parsons' negotiations gaining momentum, Justin Simmons' potential arrival rekindling the Fangio connection, and Elijah Cook's surprising rise on offense, are the Eagles about to assemble one of the most complete and dangerous rosters in the entire NFL? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, but I'll be back later to update you with the latest Eagles news.